One of the biggest signs of insecurity sounds surprisingly intelligent. It's the constant need to explain yourself. Explain why you said no. Explain your boundaries. Explain your choices. Explain your success. Explain why others misunderstood you. Most people think this makes them look reasonable, but psychologically, it often does the opposite, because every unnecessary explanation contains a hidden message. Please approve of my decision, and the people with the strongest presence understand something most people never learn. The moment you start treating every decision like a debate, you give other people permission to become judges. And that's a game confident people refuse to play. Think about the last time someone questioned a decision you made. What was your first instinct? To explain, to defend, to justify. Why? Because being misunderstood feels uncomfortable. Your brain naturally wants to remove that discomfort. It wants agreement, approval, certainty. But here's what most people never realize. Every time you rush to justify yourself, you teach your mind that disagreement is a threat. And over time, that creates dependence. Not on truth, not on wisdom, but on validation. People who never explain themselves have learned a different lesson. Disagreement is not danger, it's simply disagreement. Most people trust themselves only after other people agree with them. Confident people do the opposite. They trust themselves first, then they listen to feedback. Think about the most respected person you've ever known. They probably weren't constantly defending every choice they made. They made decisions, accepted responsibility, and moved forward. Because confidence isn't believing you're always right. Confidence is knowing you can handle being wrong. And that level of self-trust removes the need for constant explanation. Here's a psychological truth most people learn too late. Explanations rarely end judgment. They often invite more of it. You explain one decision, now they question another. You justify one boundary, now they challenge whether that boundary is fair. You defend one choice, now they examine your reasoning. And suddenly you're standing in a courtroom you never agreed to enter, trying to convince people who were never looking for understanding, only an opportunity to judge. People who never explain themselves recognize this trap early. That's why they refuse to live on trial. Silence is powerful for a simple reason. It removes the negotiation. When you constantly explain yourself, you're asking, do you approve? When you're comfortable with silence, you're saying, this is my decision. And that changes everything. Because people can only control you when they control your need for approval. The moment approval stops being necessary, their leverage disappears. That's why calm people often appear powerful, not because they're trying to dominate others, because they are no longer being controlled by them. Eventually, mature people realize something freeing. No explanation will ever satisfy everyone. Some people are committed to misunderstanding you, some are committed to judging you, and some have already decided who you are before you speak. The moment you accept this, you stop performing, you stop chasing approval, you stop managing perceptions, and you start building something much stronger. Character. Because character survives criticism. Character survives misunderstanding. Character survives doubt. Image does not. The psychology of people who never explain themselves isn't about being secretive. It's about being secure. Secure enough to make decisions without permission. Secure enough to set boundaries without guilt. Secure enough to be misunderstood without panic. Because true confidence isn't convincing everyone that you're right. It's remaining at peace when they think you're wrong. And the moment you stop needing everyone to understand you, you become harder to manipulate, harder to control, and much harder to shake. Because the strongest people in the room are rarely the ones explaining themselves. They're the ones who no longer need to.